What's up, everybody? It's Buffalo Ben 15 Golf back at it again. Just thought I'd hop on here real quick just to give you guys an overview of what's going to be going down here. This was the PGA Management Ryder Cup Qualifier that took place on September 23rd and 24th of 2023. And if you don't want to hear me ramble and just want to get into the golf, just go to the timestamp that I've listed in the description. But a little bit of a different format today. I'm going to be acting as like a third-person announcer, kind of like playing like a Jim Nantz role in this video, so you won't really hear me address myself that much. Just kind of acting like I'm a tour pro out there is kind of the way I wanted to structure this video. I hope you guys enjoy that. And I have to say that this was by a decent margin my best tournament campaign that I've had while I've been here at Ferris State. So it's going to be tough, though. 44 guys in a stacked field. Only 8 spots go to Inverness Golf Club to play against Penn State. I'm trying to become one of them. And it's not going to be easy. But you guys are going to see that I give it a serious shot today. Almost a 7,000-yard course, but I'm not going to let that stop me or anything else stop me. All right, guys. I hope you guys really enjoy this one. This took a while, but I think it's worth it. Check it out. One of the most sought-after titles on the Ferris State PGA Golf Circuit is upon us. The PGA Management Ryder Cup Qualifier here at Katke Golf Course, playing from the black tees this weekend on this Saturday and Sunday. 74.3 rating, 138 slope, almost 7,000 brutal yards, and there are 44 fierce competitors trying to earn the right to reach the top 8 and play in the Ryder Cup match against Penn State at Inverness Golf Club. We have got the big-hitting Blake Ward and Richie Kuhn in the field today. Richie shot a 69 in the first round of the 2022 state championship held at Katke for D1. So he is definitely a fan favorite. We've got D4 runner-up Tyler Denham in the field. We have got John Cornell Duranlo in the field, a senior looking to get on that team in his final semester. But today, all eyes are on Bennett Lewis, our featured player in our live coverage feed today. And here he is, getting started on the first hole for him. He's starting on hole 6 today, a par 5. Didn't seem to like that shot very much, but he was able to get it into the fairway. So now this second shot here, just going to lay up short of the water. Probably the smart play, considering it's the first hole of a 2-day-long tournament. And that is a beautiful swing Bennett Lewis just put on that ball right there. Bennett Lewis, one of the major success stories of 2023 in Ferris State University PGA Management sphere. From shooting a 178 in a PAT that featured a 94-second round, and that wasn't even from the tips, to shooting a 156 on the very next PAT he took on April 30th, 38 degrees when he began that day, and he just absolutely lit it up and tied for the low university student that day. Just had a 4-footer he needed to make on that 18th hole to win it outright. But that was then, and this is now. As you see here, him stepping up to his par putt, playing with 2 freshmen today, Dakota Lang of Brighton and Peyton Swinehart. And there is not what he was looking for right there. A 3-putt to start off the day, definitely pretty bad tone setter there, but playing with Dakota Lang of Brighton and Peyton Swinehart of Grant, which is in Newaygo County, so not too far away. He's definitely got some fans from his local area out here to come watch today. And as you see here, just taking you through some holes we were not able to capture Bennett Lewis on, but he was able to make a bogey on hole 7 after going along of the green, and then on this 8th hole, he was able to hit his tee shot to 25 feet away, which is where we pick up the action. And that is a stellar lag putt there by Bennett Lewis. I gotta tell you what, something he was discussing on the range on some pre-round interviews that we were able to capture from him is that his putter has changed his game, and that is the sole reason he has been able to overcome so much this year and get himself into this position. He made a bogey on hole 9, as you see there, after a pretty errant tee shot, but he recovered nicely with a good 2-putt and a nice gap wedge approach for his 4th. And so we bring you guys now to the 10th hole, the second hardest hole on the back 9, 441 mammoth yards, but that doesn't look like it's gonna be a problem for our featured player here today. What an excellent tee shot. Very bad break that it still got hung up in the rough, but nonetheless, he has got a very short club in. You see him here taking a gap wedge. Look at that. Just fire in the hips. Getting that rotation on that hill is very hard to do. Gets himself on the green there. So he's definitely made short work of this hole so far. This would be a big par to get some momentum going for him. Currently 3 over after 4 holes. Definitely not the start he wanted. So as you see him stepping over this putt here, breaking left most of the way and then turning right at the hole. Let's see if he's able to judge it okay here. I would say that was pretty well done. That is a heck of a lag putt by Buffalo Bennett Lewis. As you see here, his playing partner, Dakota Lang, with a birdie. One of 2 birdies the entire day that was recorded on this hole. The other being by Blake Ward. So, par there for Bennett Lewis, however, as you saw him clean that up there. And as you see on the 11th hole, he was able to get another par as well. A nice 5-iron tee shot, pin high to the right, nice uphill putt. Pretty much the same idea as hole 10. And let's go down on an on-course interview for him.
Yeah, you know, I feel pretty good right now. I got that birdie, it felt like a birdie. That par just there on 10. I've just been steady all day, just bogeys and pars. Haven't really gotten out of whack. Just hit a really nice shot up on the green. I think things are looking pretty good for me. I have a feeling I'm gonna really start getting going as soon as we get to some of these easier holes on the back 9.
Just judging by what he just said there, he knows what's coming in this 12th hole. Par 5, 490 yards. 2 par 5s on Katke south of 500, the other being hole 16. But this one played the easiest hole for the day with an under par scoring average of 4.8. One of 2 holes that was an under par scoring average on this first round today. And as you see here, Bennett Lewis, after pushing his drive a little bit to the right, he's in the rough here, just trying to get himself a chip shot for his 3rd with a 4-iron. Doesn't seem to like it very much, though. Yeah, it's a bit low, a bit left. A little bit more work than he wanted for sure. So picking up here on this third shot for Bennett Lewis. 61 yards to the hole. Got a sand wedge in hand. Nice deliberate follow through there. It's what you got to do in this September rough in Michigan. It gets real thick this time of year if you're not ready. Pretty decent shot there from him. And as you see here, he's given himself an outside look at birdie, about 15 feet. Downhill right to left, and this one is sloping hard, though. This is one of those putts where it is easy to send it 4 feet by and not even feel like you made a bad stroke. So let's see what he can do. Birdie putt. Yeah, just too strong. And look at that ball go. That is not what he wanted for sure. So, just some other group highlights here. Peyton Swinehart with a great par save after putting himself out of position after the tee shot. Does a really nice job to recover there. Hopefully Bennett Lewis is thinking, if he can, I can. Looks pretty comfortable over this one. Wasn't that putt that was the problem, it was the first. That was a great putt. Just misjudged it. The breaks are tough to deal with changing throughout the day. As far as dew goes, as far as length of grass goes. Definitely a tough thing to deal with. So that brought him to 4 over through 7, and he would make another bogey on hole 13 after overshooting the green. But then he recovered very nicely on hole 14. Was back against the wall, 5 over through 8. Round starting to possibly get a little bit away from him. Makes a great par after a fantastic sliding chip shot to within 6 inches of the hole. Just a very well played hole overall by Bennett Lewis. Always nice to get a par on a par 4 north of 430. I mean, those are the ones that with scoring averages of 4.5, 4.6, 4.7, those are the tough ones. And as you see here, his tee shot on 15, another pretty decent one. He was able to make his par there. And we pick up with him again on the action on hole 16, the other sub 500 par 5 after an excellent drive. He's only got 218 to the hole here using a 5-wood, severely above his feet, however. And with that tree jutting in on the right side, and as you see there, he just started it a little bit too far away from it. He needed to take it on a little bit more than that. It was a good swing, and it just wasn't able to get what he wanted out of it. Got a pretty good break, though. The bunker slowed it down over there. Didn't end up in the bunker. Had to make a pretty nice flop shot over the bunker, though, to get where we're at right now with his birdie putt. And as you see, it's swinging in, and it's just going to miss long, like on number 12. Just gave the big swinger just a little bit too much respect. And as we see Swinehart again for his par. Yeah. And he makes another excellent left to right putt. Peyton Swinehart making a move early. Parring both of the par 5s. Parred hole 15. Trying to get himself in the conversation. Going back to Bennett Lewis here, should be no problem here on the putt, and yes, he is able to make it. So, saves par there. Definitely not what he wanted. I'm sure he was looking for a birdie there, but he was able, however, to survive the very difficult 17th, playing 181 today. And if you're going to par that hole, you better do it on Saturday rather than Sunday, because those tees are going to be 40 yards longer tomorrow. But he Got a really nice 5-iron on the green, really nice lag putt. Your routine par. What more could you want? And so now 5 over through 11 holes, as he was able to par 3 straight there. And as you see, after a pretty errant tee shot, it looks like he got pretty lucky. Peyton Swinehart and Bennett Lewis discussing what exactly happened to that ball. Peyton saying that it came back out into the fairway. Hit one of the limbs up there, I think, and kind of kicked it all the way over here. That's my partner's ball on the left. Big break there. Really big break there. A big break indeed, and Bennett Lewis was able to capitalize on it as he was able to make another very nice par. After laying up with a 6-iron, he had a gap wedge in. Got himself to about 20 feet, another 2-putt. And this is where the magic happened, folks. First hole, 382-yard par 4. Able to hit a booming drive, nearly 3 bills. Just had a sand wedge 90 yards in. Overshot it by about 15 feet, but then made the comeback putt. Did a little dance on its way down, and now he is 4 over through 14 holes. He is playing well.
This is way right. I mean, this is way right. This is 100 yards right of the fairway, center of the fairway.
And just when you thought everything was going right, oh man, gotta feel bad for Bennett Lewis there. Just a shame that he gave up that tee shot. He got past this hole. It's definitely the hardest of the 4 he has left. That would have been something to see him get past this hole with a par, but now he needs to minimize the damage as much as he can. 4th shot after taking a drop and hitting his 3rd to here. Couldn't really do much else but punch out. But boy, does he stick a nice wedge in tight. About an 8-footer. Possibly going to steal a bogey here. Be even through 2 on holes 1 and 2. At least as far as the scorecard front 9 goes. And there he just didn't play it high enough. As you see, Bennett Lewis having a lot of pretty good putts out here, just beating around the bush a little bit. Not quite able to get it home, and there's a double. And the torment wouldn't stop for Bennett Lewis, unfortunately. On hole 3, pushed his tee shot, but still had a manageable position, but then just kind of flared his 9-iron into the bunker, barely was able to get out of the bunker, and then his chip up just wasn't close enough to get the bogey. Hole 4, however, he was able to make a very nice par as he overshot the green with his 4-iron to a short-sided back pin from where he chipped, got it to about 9 feet, had a very quick putt, but was able to drain it dead center. I tell you what, like Bennett Lewis was saying, his putter has kept him in this round today. I mean, you've seen the kind of putts that he's had, the kind of positions he's put himself in. This could be plus 12, plus 13 easily of a round. So concluding the first round of competition, Bennett Lewis with a bogey to finish off on hole 5 as he just flared his wedge into the bunker. Problem that he's definitely going to need to ward off for the second round. Had a very plugged lie, but able to get a pretty good shot out of there. Honestly, to make bogey from where he was somewhat impressive. And so there you have it, folks. Your round 1 standings. In the lead right now is Blake Ward at 73, Joe Dominic at 74, tied with Chase Meyer, Jake McGeary with an excellent round of 75, Richie Kuhn as well, fan favorite, John Cornell Duranlo, like we were mentioning earlier, there's a 77, and tied with Colin Beckett and Tyler Denham for that 6th spot currently. So our cut going into round 2 sits at +6. So you got to be thinking maybe +11, +12, +13 is what it's going to take in order to gain your right to play on the Ryder Cup team. And as you see there, our featured player, Bennett Lewis, starting off his second round on hole 10 with an excellent drive, and now just a pitching wedge in. He has just torched both of his drives this weekend on this hole. Made it look easy. However, he did miss the green right just now, and now he's got a difficult chip back the other way. Not a whole lot of green to work with. I just landed too far into the upslope there. That is probably one of the worst shots we've seen from him this weekend. And as you see here, him just kind of walking gingerly up, just knowing that, oh boy, is this the way we're going to start this out? I sure hope not. And as you see here, again, having to rely on his lag putting here for par. 26 feet. Downhill left to right. And that's a pretty good effort. Didn't go in, though. So not going to be able to par at both rounds this weekend. But +1 for those 2 holes is tied for 10th this week. There were 9 players who scored even par or better this weekend over that hole in 2 rounds. So after making a bogey on 11, he had to actually drain a really nice putt, about a 16-footer, as he pulled his tee shot on 11 wide left. And wide left was definitely something you couldn't do on this 12th hole, but he was able to keep himself up the right again. And as you see here, now has a 225-yard shot, has a 4-iron coming out of this thick rough, and just thrashes at it. Put an excellent compact swing on that, and that is going to bowl right up onto the front of the green. He is on in 2, a chance for redemption on this hole to get that birdie he so desperately needs right now, but possibly even better than that. 45-foot eagle try for Bennett Lewis here. Uphill, right to left. Line looks pretty good, but he's just going to come up short by about 7 feet. Definitely could have gone better there. So, Bennett Lewis now stepping up to this putt. Knowing how much this means right now, currently at +11. That cut line you got to be thinking is +12, so want to give yourself some wiggle room coming down the stretch if you can. And he holds it. That was key. That is a big deal right there for Bennett Lewis. Let's take a look at our club champion replay. Better fit, lower scores, period. Just contrasting hole 12 this week for Bennett Lewis. The first day of this 2-day tournament, making a disappointing bogey. Only one of 11 players out of the 44 in the field to get bogey or worse. But then, just looks like a whole new man on these 2 shots here. Night and day difference there. That's your replay brought to you by Club Champion of Grand Rapids. And some group highlights here. Fisher Morrison, who shot 80 the first round, tied for 12th right now, able to make birdie there. And we jump ahead to hole 17, our signature hole. Here's Fisher Morrison again on the tee. And that is going to bite him hard. Comes up short, hits the stone wall, and ricochets back into the water. Here's freshman Tanis Brummel with his hybrid shot. And just able to stay on top of that mound on the right. Should be a pretty fast chip, but he's past the hole somewhat. I don't think he's going to need to deal with that ridge. And Ryan Turner taking a different approach here, a freshman from Fraser, Michigan, shot an 80 in the first round, as well as Tanis Brummel and Fisher Morrison, all of them tied at 12th heading into the day. So here's our featured player, Bennett Lewis. The green is open. Nobody in his groups hit it. He's not going to hit it either. That's a pretty decent shot, though. 5 wood, just pulled it a little long left, but well hit, well struck ball.
We are dry and we are safe.
Very situational
from this
play
tee
there
is definitely not a
Bennett
given.
Lewis. So as you see here, as we bring you guys up to the 17th green, pin on the front right today, to Bennett Lewis's advantage, honestly. He's got some more green to work with here. You see it's going to snake towards the center of the green, and then it's going to peel and peel and peel and peel. That is very well judged by Bennett Lewis there. He's got a chance to save his par, as does Tanis Brummel right there. Little group highlight. Tanis Brummel parring all 3 of the par 3s on the back 9. Very nicely done by the freshman from Byron Center. So here's Bennett Lewis now on his par putt. Oh, what a great stroke Bennett Lewis just put on that ball right there. That is a tough pill to swallow right there. Nearly a very strong 3. But just like hole 10, not able to par it 2 days in a row. As you see there, Ryan Turner cleaning up his par as well after a great bunker shot. And now Bennett Lewis standing on 18, tee again, his 9th of the day. Flared it out right the first round, but got pretty lucky. Let's see how he fares today. As you see there, a pretty wristy swing. That's definitely going to be over there again, but not quite as bad as the other day. He would make bogey, but then he was able to make par on hole 1. So heading into the second hole, his 11th of the day, he's 12 over, right on that cut line. Has to get through 8 holes even, par or better, in order to qualify. And that is definitely not the start he was looking for. Not far right like on Saturday. Chose a 5 wood instead of a 3 wood this time. Probably a pretty smart play. But still having to punch out, as you see here. Saw off camera, just interacting with some fans, just couple of them just talking to him about how whether or not he could get the ball high enough and draw it far enough to kind of do it that way, but he chose probably the safer route, giving himself a chance again at par. Another excellent partial wedge coming up the hill this hole from Bennett Lewis this weekend. And now here he is for his par putt, about 10 feet downhill, right to left. Been the theme of the week for him, downhill, right to left. He's made some, he's missed some. Right now he needs this, though. Looks okay. Misses low. Off his face, it looked like it had a chance. It really did. So, just going to clean up his bogey here. That's a shame. 3 over on the week for Bennett Lewis on this hole. 37th out of 44 in that department this weekend. And hopefully it won't be his downfall. Hopefully he can put together a seriously good streak of 7 holes to maybe go even par 1 under. And as you see here on hole 3, able to do just that on his tee shot, take advantage of his good driver play this weekend. He's hit a couple really nice ones. No penalties at all this weekend so far for Bennett Lewis. part of the reason he's stayed in the conversation for this long. As you see here, going to the fairway, ball above his feet a little bit, taking a pitching wedge. Kind of that Tommy Gainey, pretty quiet lower body swing. Doing a nice job to get it on the green. Another downhill right to left putt. This one is 26 feet. And he is poised to get this one. I'm sure he could really use this.
Yeah, big putt here to stay on that cut line.
Is it going to turn enough?
Oh, that is just rude.
It does not turn enough for Bennett Lewis. Another par. But to bounce back, though, from getting double on that hole yesterday, that was a very well-played hole by Bennett Lewis. Just didn't end the way he wanted it to. And as we jump ahead to the final hole, Bennett Lewis now at plus 15. He's gone plus 3 so far in this front. It's played okay, but probably not going to be enough to do it. The cut line right now at plus 12. Cam Chrisman of Romeo, Michigan, currently at plus 12 with 1 hole to go, on track for a 156 total. And if he were to miss his par putt on the 18th, that would give Bennett Lewis a chance here on this final approach. He needs to hold this for a 157. Tyler Denham in the clubhouse currently in 8th at 157, but not to be for Bennett Lewis, as you see there. Just kind of bails out to the left a little bit, had a pretty poor lie. And some group highlights here. Tanis Brummel stepping over his putt. He's at an excellent tournament, only 1 double the whole week and 2 birdies. This for a 79, 159, which would get him into 11th. Overtaking Lucy DeHaan for the 3rd overall freshman.
Looks pretty good. Yeah, he did. He looks it. Wow, what a great cut. And that's some really great raw emotion. That's a happy man. That's good to see.
How about this for another club champion, better fit, lower scores, period, replay? Tanis Brummel, 3rd overall freshman this tournament. Here it comes. Get out of there. What a putt to finish up the week for him. Sam Baldwin, the low freshman in the clubhouse right now, in holding the 5th spot. He's punched his ticket with a 152 plus 8. And in 9th is the 2nd overall freshman, Tyler Denham, who shot an 80 following his 77 on Saturday. So he is unfortunately going to miss by 1. Definitely a tough pill to swallow for Tyler Denham. And as you see here, Bennett Lewis stepping up to this final par putt. Should be no big deal. Ties himself with Tanis Brummel, 159 total, 81-78. No doubles on this 2nd round. And 2 birdies for the week. That is how you do it. And Bennett Lewis, I tell you what, as much as it's usually 12 people who go to these Ryder Cups, they had to cut it down to 8 this year. As much as that might be a tough pill to swallow for him, definitely a bittersweet moment. He stayed tough. He converted a bunch of excellent 2 putts. He did what he needed to do to really establish himself as a force going forward. And he is going to start being remembered for these kinds of performances instead of those 94s from years gone by. As you see there, Chase Meyer, Richie Kuhn, Colin Beckett, Blake Ward, Sam Baldwin, Justin Bardenhagen, Joe Dominic, and Cam Chrisman are your 8 qualifiers. Congratulations to them. Congratulations to Chase Meyer as your individual champion with a 149 plus 5 total. Richie Kuhn runner-up, Colin Beckett of the Ferris golf team rounding out the podium. That is all we have for you today, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us, and we will be back for the PGA Management Ryder Cup Qualifier in the spring semester at Thornapple Point.